You clicked on Celebrate Veterans Day, and this is written by Melissa Ferguson. What is Veterans Day? On November 11th, Americans celebrate the men and women who serve in the U.S. military. This national holiday is called Veterans Day. A veteran is someone who has been in the military. Many of them have served in wars, and they fought to protect the country's freedom. Well, here's a fact for us, too. The Army, Air Force, Navy, Marine Corps, and the Coast Guard make up the military. Veterans are often away from their homes and families. They face dangers in war. People who serve sometimes get hurt, and when they come home, they may struggle with difficult thoughts and feelings. American freedoms. Americans have many rights and freedoms. They have freedom of speech, and Americans are free to follow any religion or none at all. These freedoms were fought for and protected by veterans. And here's another fact. There are about 20 million veterans in the United States. You probably know one and you don't realize it. How Veterans Day became a holiday. Veterans Day started after World War I, and that was from 1914 to 1918. World War I was called the Great War. It was one of the biggest wars in history. During World War I, about 8.5 million soldiers from around the world died. People hoped this would be the last war. Do you see them going into battle? And here's another fact. More than 4.7 million men and women served in the U.S. forces during World War I. That's quite a lot of people, huh? World War I officially ended on June 28th in 1919, but fighting stopped on November 11th in 1918. The day became known as Armistice Day, and Americans celebrated with songs and parties, and they were happy that the fighting had stopped. Fact, on Armistice Day, the fighting ended at 11 a.m. on November 11th. November is also the 11th month of the year. Armistice Day honored World War I veterans, but World War I was not the last war. Millions of men and women served in World War II, which was from 1939 to 1945, and the Korean War, which was from 1950 to 1953. Americans wanted to honor U.S. veterans from all wars, and in 1954, Armistice Day became Veterans Day. We have another fact. There have been 26 presidents who've served in the armed forces. How cool is that? Oh, do you recognize this guy? I think your parents will, maybe some grandparents. This is John F. Kennedy, who was one of our presidents. What isn't so long ago. He served too. Sites and symbols of Veterans Day. Many Americans go to the Arlington National Cemetery on Veterans Day. It is near Washington, D.C. More than 400,000 veterans are buried there. On Veterans Day, there is a wreath-laying ceremony at Arlington National Cemetery. Now, this is what we're going to talk about next in this picture. This is the tomb of the unknown soldier. After World War I, the body of a soldier was buried in a tomb at Arlington National Cemetery. No one knew his name, but people wanted to honor his service. He is called the unknown soldier. Many other unknown soldiers have been buried there since. Today, soldiers guard the tomb at all times. This is how they honor the fallen veterans. One important symbol of Veterans Day is the red poppy flower. During World War I, many soldiers died on Flanders Field in Europe. Months later, poppies began to grow there, and the red poppy became a symbol of honoring those who died. how you can celebrate Veterans Day. Many schools and offices close for Veterans Day. Some towns and cities hold parades. Many businesses offer free services to veterans and members of the military on that day. Americans proudly fly their flag. Oh, here's another fact. New York City holds America's biggest Veterans Day parade. It does look like a pretty big parade. You can honor veterans in many ways. Go to a Veterans Day parade. Send a letter to a veteran. And if you see a military person, thank him or her. On Veterans Day, we remember those who served the country. I hope you guys learned something about Veterans Day this week. I know it wasn't a normal story, but I thought it was important that you guys learn why and how we have Veterans Day. Don't forget to click around and see what else you can find.